Hi there. This is a trap in an irregular line of the Sicilian e6. So for want of a better name, it's called the trap in the irregular Sicilian e6. After e4, c5, knight f3 and e6. The e6 line of the Sicilian. White continues with d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4 and knight f6, hitting the pawn on e4. White defends with knight c3 and black plays this pin bishop to b4, which is now hitting the pawn on e4. Well, white can continue with e5 or can try bishop d3 to defend that pawn on e4. After knight c6, white will capture the knight on c6 and black can recapture with either the b pawn or the d pawn. After b takes on c6, now white pushes forward with e5 hitting the knight, and knight d5 threatens to win a pawn on c3 after capturing the knight on c3 and then winning the pawn on c3. But white can play queen g4, and this is a common idea in these type of lines. Queen g4 now counter threats and is hitting the pawn on g7. After g6, now white can offer the pawn on c3, no need to defend that with castles. And now black's in trouble, because if knight takes on c3, then white will not recapture the knight, rather queen will take on b4 with advantage for white. And if black chooses bishop takes on c3, white will have a commanding advantage, especially on the dark squares. After b takes c3, knight takes c3, bishop d2 hitting the knight, and when the knight retreats, say to d5, c4 will push the knight away, and black is in a very weak Swiss cheese-like position. So backing up, after white here has castled, black could try a move like h5, but the white queen will just wander around somewhere along that fourth rank with advantage for white. So if black tries f5, well, here that's a big mistake, because now white can take en passant, e takes on f6, and now if knight takes on f6, then queen's going to pick up the bishop on b4, and if the queen was to take on f6, then white will first trade knight takes knight on d5 and then pick up the bishop on b4. So after e takes on f6, if black first trades minor pieces on c3 with bishop takes c3, white is winning after bishop takes on g6 check, because if now h takes on g6, obviously if king to f8, let's just do that, king to f8, then white's going to win in 2 with bishop to h6 check, king g8 and f7 will be mate. So after h takes g6, white mates after queen g6 check, king f8, queen g7, king to e8, f7 check, forcing king e7, and now f8 queens, and that is checkmate. So this has been the irregular line trap in the Sicilian e6. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.